hello, it's time for round 3 at Silverstone for the Prospects eRacing League Tier 1. It's the creme de la creme of all races, and I'm joined here today by Artistic. Artistic, are you ready for this one? It's the home of Grand Prix. It's Silverstone. What's your thoughts?
Absolutely. I mean, who wouldn't love Silverstone? This is absolutely the crown jewels, in my opinion, of racing circuits throughout the world. So I get excited every time I get a chance to see somebody race on it, let alone speak about it.
It's a track throughout history that has created some absolute amazing battles, amazing champions. And today is round 3 here at the Tier 1, the top of the pile when it comes to this league. And I'm excited to see what this produces. Last week, we had a great race. And this week, it's only going to get better, I feel. And we're about to get going. We've got a short qualifying session of 18 minutes. And a 50% race here of 26 laps. Tell me a bit of information about this track, Artistic.
I believe it's about 5.89 kilometers long. 18 turns on this track. Plenty of elevation. 2 DRS zones, and it's a track that if you got a heavy downforce, you can really get after it. So. Mercedes has always been a featured vehicle here, but we'll see who's on display today.
These days, I don't look like we've got a full grid. 18 people in. We've got QRT Ruby then, last year's champion, wanting to put on a show. Lassie Lawson as well there. Troye, last week's winner. What a race he had. He'll be looking to get off on another points challenge here today. And you know, this track here, it's a mixture. Although it's fast speed corners, those tire temperatures that we've all been struggling with this year could be a big problem for those guys out there, really trying to manage the tire deck and the tires falling off the cliff at such high speeds. How they adapt to that is going to be interesting to see as we go through the stints and in this race. I'm really excited to see. Now then, let's get on to qualifying.
You know, it's kind of been like the real Formula One, how this year hasn't been, you know, off to the races, so to speak. Even Mercedes, as I just spoke on, halfway through the season, they're still trying to figure their car out. It seems like every time someone kind of figures it out a little bit, you know, something happens where they take another step back. Look at Ferrari, for example. So even as we are readjusting, we're just still kind of getting our feet wet just like those guys. So it's kind of fun to learn as they do.
Exactly that. Williams, Ferrari are looking for probably a better half of the season in real life. But we've got movement now then on the track, and it will be the man, LFR Scotty, getting out first in the AlphaTauri car. He'll be the first one to set a hot lap in the benchmark, and he's not messing about. The grid is already getting really full out there. People are not messing about. So let's keep an eye out, see what Scotty has to offer here.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a really interesting race. There's so many people out here that I'm excited to see. I see my man Quasar out there, super fast. I think you wouldn't believe how young this man is to be as fast as he is. Robbie came out of nowhere, and I thought the guy was on top of the mountain until all of a sudden Hemi showed up. And I'm sure Scotty is tired of hearing me talk about these guys. So it is really some fantastic races in here that is ready to kick it up. I can't wait.
They are indeed, which then just makes it so much more exciting. The fact that we've got a lot of faster drivers round about the same pace and, you know, creating those battles throughout the whole of this this season. That's what we want to see. But we're around here now for Scotty, who's going to be the first across that line to start his hot lap. So then, Scotty, let's ride on board then, flat out. Turn 1, really chucking it in there, trusting the downforce. to be on his side. Now it's braking around the 50-meter mark. Keep it nice and tight into third. Keep it through third there. And we're going round here now then. The back end always wants to come away from you here. You're putting that load all the way on that front right. And he gets it nicely done there in the DRS zone here. The one of two DRS zones here at Silverstone. And now we're coming through Love Field. And this is another corner. You've got to keep it nice and tight and really get that power down as we now come through the old pitch straight, flat out through here. Now they're through to Cops. This is a very tricky corner to get right as he chucks it in down to 7th, just about keeps it in the track limits. And the Maggots and Beckett's. This is an absolute corner, a full test on the driver's ability. And he gets that absolute sweet, hits the sweet spot as we come down now. The hanger straight, DRS wide open, reaching the top speeds of around about 208 miles per hour as he hits the braking point now through Stowe. And now he's almost there to the end of it. He's only got 2 more corners to the gate. Through Vale, through Club now. And another corner, you can see he's fighting that back end all the way through here. Oh, and he's going to invalidate. No, he doesn't. It's a 1:27.9 for Scotty. Great banker mark there. Great banker lap. What do you think, Artistic?
Absolutely. You know, I was looking at those guys in esports, and they were putting in about 126. You know, low 127. So when we look at this speed up here, this is virtually world class. I mean, right up there with the big boys. So come on with it, guys.
And a fast Scotty, not messing about out there today. First one out on track. I mean, we will see the track get more bedded in. We could see maybe a 127.5 for Paul. I don't know. Total Carney 128 dead. So Carney, Robbie is on his outlap. Optic then on a hot lap through sector 3, but he has invalidated. Now then,
he already spent out starting his coming out initially. He spent out around turn 9 there, and just trying to warm his tires up. So, you know, you never know. It's hit or miss with Optic. I've seen him have some rough qualities, and you look up and he's on the podium. So don't count him out.
Definitely riding on board with the Alpine driver of Quasar right now. He's one that fancies himself in this league. He's in the Alpine this year. And he's now on his hot lap coming through sector 2. Nice and clean there through Lovefield. Getting that power down. Here he goes then through the Old National Pitch straight. And it's the Cops corner that really tests the drivers here, because there's a lot to gain through this turn as he negates it now. Most people are taking it in seventh gear. Last year was at 8th gear all the way. So already you're seeing a change in how these drivers approach that Cops corner.
Boy, he's smooth, though. He's really smooth. What we got back here? All right, Liam just pulled off to the side. There's nothing, baby. He has some damage. I don't know if Liam has some damage or not. He's pulling off the road a couple of times. First, initially, I thought he was just getting out of folks' way, but now he looks like he may be having some problems.
It's a 127.6 for Quasar. Sorry to interrupt you there, Artistic, but Quasar has got to put in an absolute belter. What an unbelievable lap. Quasar, take a bow, son. What a lap.
Hey, well, that's a racing machine right there, because whenever he's not sim racing, he races karts too. So, you know, you can't keep that man out of something fast.
The thing is, now it's time for last year's champion in the Ferrari on his hot lap. He's got a lot of drivers out there biting at the bit for that pole position, but what can Robbie do? You know he's got the skill. He's already proven racer, a proven champion as he goes through Maggots and Beckett's now onto Hanger Straight. He knows the times that are coming in. He knows the times that he has to beat. And all he can do now is put the pedal to the metal and see what he can come up with here through Stowe.
He's coming for that pole. He's looking close.
A slight dab on that yellow-orange curve is going to negate it, but he's going to be a 127. It's a 127.4. Wow. There it is, and that's why he's a champion here. He doesn't mess about. He doesn't succumb to pressure. It's a 127.4 from that last year's champion. Wow. Just wow.
Well, being the legendary commentator you are, you said yourself it was going to come down to at least 27.5, and where are we?
We are at 127.5. Hey, what about that, Artistic? What about that?
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Big dog status, baby. Hey, you were just down here in Silverstone. Tell us about it, man, because, well, I was excited to know you were down there.
Yeah, I was there for the Silverstone Grand Prix, creating content. I was sitting at Vale, right at the gates there. If you see on Sky Sports, you see me running onto the track there. The first one out of everyone, like an absolute super fan.
I gotta keep that out. I gotta keep it out.
It's on TikTok. Brilliant.
Robbie had a little wiggle.
So 127.5 is the benchmark here. Whoa! Cameron goes and invalidates his lap through Copse Corner. I did say it's a tricky one this year, that one.
Absolutely. But the cars are so much more enjoyable to drive. They're so beautiful. I mean, just looking at them, just as an artist, I just kind of get lost in the craftsmanship sometimes. I'm like, wow, maybe I should spend more time working on my art, but then I need to increase my driving skills. So it's, you know, get the cat.
Well then, we were talking about Hemi last time out, Artistic. We're riding on board with him now. A 129.5 is all he can do so far. Now, he out-qualified Robbie in round one. Can he do the same here at Silverstone? His banker lap was quite a slow lap, but we're on board now, coming through Sector 2. What can Hemi put together here?
If I'm not mistaken, not only did he get on pole, but he won that race pretty handily. Very handily, actually.
He definitely did. He held the pressure for so long. Robbie was really fighting it.
For like 7, 8 laps. Wow, that was a beautiful race. Instant classic.
It was indeed. Let's have a look then. He is up. Oh, he's not improved on his time. Hemi then seems like Silverstone isn't the track for him out there today.
All right, I'm expecting something big out of Spider-Man. Come on, Spidey. We need to see you get up there, baby boy.
Let's see if he can improve on his time then. He doesn't. He doesn't improve, Hemi. Let's go on to Spider-Man then. Artistic, talk us through this lap.
All right, Spidey's coming around here. He's, what is he at here? He's coming around, probably around turn 12, 13. Seems like he's got a nice little bit of traction going. Okay, he pulled off his lap. Decided not to push it there for some reason or another.
Let's go on road then with Optic, PRL Optic then. You said he's a man that can be the best but also be the worst. What is it going to be? It's a 133. Not a great lap. Maybe he's putting a banker lap in, but we'll go on board with Fudge.
And then high.
Fudge then through Sector 3, hasn't set a lap time yet. We know Fudge has got pace, but how much pace has he got? Can he get in the 127s? It's going to be a close one for him. Nice and clean through club.
Yeah, he's really clean.
Getting that power down. Is it going to be in the 127s? Not quite, but it's good enough for 6th place so far.
All right, sir. And I believe most of the people in this lobby run no assist too, don't they?
Yeah, Lawson, Scotty and Robbie. No assist. So is NL Liam. So is NL Liam.
I believe so is Spider-Man and Fudge as well.
Yeah, it's great. At the very least. It's really good to see the guys out there riding, racing with no assist. I mean, that's what you want to see. You know, when you're at the top tier, you want to be able to see them racing absolute no assist, because that's when they can call themselves really, like, you know, proper drivers of the game, you know? Really using the game to all its bare minimum, you know, because it really is a great feeling when you can get those assists off, especially that racing line. That racing line, when you you almost feel like a racing driver, you know. You're picking your own braking points, you're picking your own lines, you've got no attribute out there helping you. You really get engaged with the track itself, and it just brings that experience together so much more. And I feel that you do get that better feeling out of the game by doing so, and I will encourage anyone to try it.
Especially if you're in the cockpit.
Now then, Basil Baza sneaks in with a 128 dead. Up to 5th place for the McLaren boy. Let's ride on board with Cameron then. He's invalidated. Let's Drunken Pirate coming through sector 1. Let's go with King David then. King David had a great opportunity last week, but it all kind of fell apart from him at the latter stages of the race. And he's not up on his time through sector 2. Interesting there, he's backed off.
It's been rather quiet quality. You know, a couple guys came in and hit it right on the head, and it's been kind of hard to catch up since then. We've got a significant distance from top to bottom.
So far then, a 1:27.1. QRT Robbie is only going to beat his time again. Holy moly. We were just about to mention that is the benchmark, but he's only gone and got a low 127s. Holy moly. That is incredible.
Hey, well, I did say it was possible. He can get 126 in the high 126s. That guy's a beast, man. But I tell you this, Quasar right behind him. Don't sleep on him.
A Quasar 127.3. A great lap coming in from him as well. Let's go on board with Drunk Pirate. Sorry, gets himself up to 10th. We missed that one. Everyone else is in here. Good to see we've got no disqualifications or DNFs in the qualifying today so far.
We have one spin out. Weather's great. It'll be an exciting race.
It is indeed. Just want to say thank you very much for everyone joining us here today for the Esports Prospects eRacing League Tier 1. Thank you F7 Racing for the follow, Akuzgun and Edu97 for the follow. Welcome on in, guys.
That's what I'm talking about.
Remember, this race gets broadcasted on ESTV, so a big shout out to them.
Yep. Hey, thank you for having us. And oftentimes the race... Go ahead, I'm sorry. Okay. Yeah. Often the races are a lot closer than what you see in the quality as well. You know, you'll see people who have much better racecraft than they have actual quality pace. So you know, we'll definitely see this grid change hands quite a bit as the race progresses once we get started here. But I'm still curious to see whether or not Robbie will remain on pole.
Oh, sorry, I muted myself there. I don't know why. My bad. He's absolute binned it there, Spider-Man. And he doesn't have enough time to get in and around in the pits and back out, so he will have to hopefully have enough fuel on board. He doesn't have the fuel marker on at the minute, so I'm guessing he does have enough to go again. LFR Scotty, oh, he's binned it as well. The guys are really pushing themselves out there now.
Last 50 seconds. Oh, got spent out a little bit. All right, we're starting to see quite a few people break that 127
Big
area.
spinned it. He's gone in the pits. No, he's happy with his lap time, sorry. We've got to ride on board with the guys that have not completed a lap time here. Sector 3 then, Spider-Man will eventually get a lap time done. Here he comes through then on the last turn, and it's a very, very slow lap. But he does have enough time to go again. Cameron coming through Sector 2. Oh, he's got it wrong again, Cameron. Oh dear, Cameron's binned it. And the Red Bull boy is not having a good time there. The thing is, Cameron has great race pace, but it looks like he'll be starting at the back of the grid. Last week's winner, Troye, still yet to set a lap time here, and he's got to get a lap time right now, otherwise he is out.
Well, I don't anticipate him staying down there in the bottom tier. He's definitely. Oh, did he invalidate?
He's invalidated. The commentator's curse. Artistic has done a number there on Troye. It's last week's winner who has not set an Artistic, mate. You can't keep interrupting, mate. CPI Troye has not set a lap time in qualifying. Last week's winner. That's unbelievable stuff. I can't believe it, Artistic.
Not at all. I mean, the guy's such a fabulous racer. I'm sure he's disappointed in that, but don't count him out in the race. He's going to be climbing up towards some points, I'm sure.
Definitely is. And to be fair, Artistic, like we just said about Cameron, they're two, including Spider-Man. These guys are very, very, very quick. Look at Hemi, the race winner of round 1, down in 15, Tintoretto. Very fast driver. These guys have really good race pace, and that is qualifying. Done and dusted with QRT Robbie then. Oh no, I stand corrected. Hemi has gone up to 3rd place. He's going to put in a good lap of a 1:27 dead. So he's out there, Artistic. He's out there, he's on the 2nd row. He's going to try and take it to Robbie this week, I think.
Yeah, I think he's gonna get all he can handle. But as a prediction, I'm gonna go on the outside edge here, and I'm gonna pick Quasar to take this one home. I think he's about due.
Oh, you're going for it.
Due.
To be honest, man, I've got to say, QRT Robbie, he's on form in all aspects at the minute. When I mean on form, he's not making any mistakes. When I'm racing with him, he just seems to have got better and better. I don't see QRT Robbie getting back. Whoa! I don't see QRT Robbie getting touched out there today.
Maybe I'm just biased, but whenever I watch Robbie, when he's on top of his game, he's pretty much unbeatable.
He definitely is.
I watch a lot of guys on YouTube and whatnot, and Robbie's he's really that good.
But a Quasar. A 1:27.3, a couple of 3/10% off the pole position. So QRT Robbie then takes that pole here at Silverstone. A Quasar in 2nd, Henny in 3rd. Optic finds himself up to 4th along with his teammate in 5th. So great qualifying from Optic in the end. We kind of missed that. But great qualifying from the two Aston Martin boys. NLR Liam in 6th, Mitwee in 7th, Fudge in 8th, Total Khan in 9th, Scotty all the way down in 10th. But he is new to no assists, so he's doing a great job there with the 1:27.9. So fair play to Scotty, going off all assists and giving it a go at the top tier. So fair play to him. US Bazo in 11th, Lassie Lawson in 12th, Drunk Pirate, last year's Tier 2 champion, down in 13th, King David in 14th, and we've run out of time. So then up next, the race at Silverstone. What is the weather going to be like here? Silverstone is known for its interchangeable conditions, shall we say. What are we going to be showing up here at this race day, Artistic?
It was looking pretty good there. And Optic really did a great job of getting his head back together, because he started his first lap out spinning. Second lap, he kind of invalidated, and then he kind of steadied himself. Look at he's at right now. He's on the 2nd row of the grid. So get on up there, Optic.
Great job from
never
Optic,
count
it
that
really
kid out.
was. Exactly that. And the thing is, the same with Hemi as well. The pressure was piling on him. He was down in 15th. He's a race winner. Down in 15th at Silverstone with the last lap. All the pressure on him, and he puts it in third place for the start of this race. So a great job from Hemi as well, with all that added pressure when you leave it to the last minute in this qualifying session. We're still loading up, ladies and gentlemen.
And there's always just a little bit of bragging rights to Silverstone. So it seems like people race a little bit harder here. So it's going to be interesting to see how some of the wheel-to-wheel action takes place.
It is indeed. Sorry, I'm just having a look in the group. We're going to go and try and see what's going on here. It looks like the lobby may have glitched out. Let's have a little look to see what they're saying. Formation lap is off, but it's not. Yeah. Those are right. Oh, we love you, Cody's. We do. Oh, Cody's. We do. Oh, EA. We do. Oh, EA, Cody's, we love you. Oh, yes, we do. Cody's, we love you. Oh, it's one of them, isn't it? You've got to just take what comes at you on the day. It is what it is, ladies and gentlemen. It looks like it's lagged out for us, guys. We're still waiting for confirmation of what's going on in the stream. But we are your commentators today. Me and Artistic. Paddybat89, Artistic from across the pond. I don't know if you gauged his accent, but he's definitely across the pond.
Oh, way over there. I'm from California, but I'm currently in Missouri. I've been in Missouri for about 20 years. In America. But I definitely have an affinity for everyone on the other side of the pond. Love you guys, man.
Well, let's talk about yourself. Let's talk about yourself. An American across the pond, which you've got to say in the last couple of years have really, really got behind the sport and took it with open arms. And now we're going to be seeing like 3 or 4 races in America. Tell me how you got into the sport and what the influx of that support, the magnitude of the support coming in as an American coming into this sport.
Well, growing up, my brother was a speed racer, so, racing was always around, and really didn't pay too much attention to it as I kind of was into a lot of other different types of sports. And then, as years progressed, and the last, maybe right before, I say a few months before COVID started, I was coming off some cancer surgeries, and I recovered, obviously. And my youngest son and I was playing Hot Wheels a lot. We play Hot Wheels, and I was like, okay, let me see if I can find something to kind of draw pictures with him, paint with him, so on and so forth. So we looked into cars, started looking into Formula One. And I was like, well, let me see if they have a game. That way I can blow the cars up to make the drawings and paintings for him even better. For him, I was like, oh, let me try to draw it. Before you know it, I was hooked. And the racing became just as important as the art. So
that's brilliant. That's brilliant to hear. That is. I mean, I've got to say, from a guy that's been in the sport and followed it for a long time now, and it was never really at America. You had a few, but it's really just gone crazy, which has then boosted the sport up. It's brilliant.
It doesn't feel like that on this side. Out here, it feels like the sport is. It really needs a surge of energy. It would really help to have somebody from America, become really good at driving open wheel vehicles, because for some reason it's really hard for a non-American to blow up per se in American pop culture. Yeah. Pacquiao was able to do it, but really outside of that, I can't really think of anybody. So they really need to have somebody come here. Would be great.
Well, no, I mean, you've got a couple of Canadians in the Formula One grid, but I get what you mean. But the thing is, it comes from investment. It comes from big companies that are getting behind the sport, and with big companies now investing their time and sponsorship money within the sport, this is where the packages comes for young American drivers also wanting to get into Formula One. Getting an American behind that they're setting the baseline, and I don't think it's going to be long until we see an actual American driving on the grid in Formula One. I don't think it'll be long. They're already starting to own Formula One teams such as Williams. Williams is now American owned. Haas is American owned. So they already are getting amongst it. It won't be. I think it'll be a matter of time before the system of how they integrate young guys into the sport in America. I think Perez done as a Mexican, he found it very difficult from that end. Not only been over across the pond, but also been in Mexico. Trying to get into the sport was even harder. Whereas you think in England, there's a lot more younger karting experiences all the way up through, and sponsorships and teams that are, put back in these young people to get into the sport, spotting out the talent and getting it. And I just feel like you're going to get that in a few years in America. That I feel like when they get behind a sport, they really do. I don't think it'll be long.
It's not really. See, the problem is the sport itself is amazing, but it's not about the sport, it's about the culture. Because let's say in the UK and Europe, the way the world treats racing, they embrace it as a nation. Like you go to the UK, everyone loves racing. You got British Racing Green. You have you know what I mean? Things of that nature. Everyone is involved in some form of racing or another. Whereas in America, it's just not that way. Like let's say if you look at a race in the UK somewhere, it's beautiful. It looks like they should be having a picnic there, and you see kids and balloons and cotton candy and just Ferris wheels, and it's just a beautiful experience. Whereas the American tracks, you see they're more concrete and grimy and what do you call them, tailgate party-ish. They're not. It doesn't have the same culture. So really, we need to change at the fundamental level in order to be able to be an F1 like. If not, we'll just kind of be someone like NASCAR or IndyCar. If you like that type of thing.
Well, I'm just going to give you a little bit of intel, guys. The actual race has started, and it seems like it was just the comms guys that have lagged out of this race. Me and Artistic. Very, very unusual. And it looks like they have started without the race. We can't even confirm it.
Okay, so we just jump out and connect with somebody, jump back in?
I don't know what to say, guys. I think this is a lesson to be learned from all areas, because we can't seem to get back in. We can't seem to get back in, and the guys have gone ahead with the race, and there's no one. It's all a bit of it's a shame, really. It's a shame, but there's no way we can get back in. I don't know why we've lagged out.
I'm gonna try to connect with one of the drivers.
Owen Sharpie, yeah, it's a DM that I want to speak to you about, so bear with. But I'll speak to you as soon as I can. I don't know what to... At the minute, we're streaming a race that's already gone ahead because we've lagged out with no one to invite us back in or anything. So this is something that might need to be worked on in the future. This is why I always say that the comms have to be a host, but with the latest snags, we've got to come away from it, haven't we? But
because the only option we have is to request to join, and that obviously they'd have to stop their race to answer something such as that.
Let me try this way. Don't worry, I'm a man of many talents.
I see that.
Let's see if this works. Let's see if this race. Come on, Paddy. Come on. Work your magic, Pats. Oh, would you look at that? Paddy's back in. Let me invite you in. If I can. Oh, no.
Yeah, I'll join you.
Have you joined me? Are you in? Are you in?
No, I'm gonna try to join you.
If you go onto my thing and then, I don't know if you could join session in progress. Oh, it's invite only.
But I've been invited already.
You're in. All right, guys. I'm sorry to say. Are you in?
I will be. Nope. I said it's got gave me a request. I sent that request out.
If you send a request to me, join thing, I can then invite you in. If you send the request to me, I can invite you in. Right, we've wasted a lot of time. But let's get back into this race. We've lost 7 laps. The race went ahead. QRT Robbie then is still the leader. I do apologise, ladies and gentlemen, for that. We did lag out, but we've missed the first 7 laps of this race, and it looks like it's been quite a steady race. Doesn't look like we've had any incidents really at the start. But I got to say, QRT Robbie is 4.5 seconds ahead of the field right now.
Jeez. What, Robbie did not like competition being talked about, did he?
He did not know. He's really showing Hemi as it goes now. We've got the Red Bull making a move there on Troye and gets that Red Bull car up to 6th place. Now then, Cameron, I swear Cameron started at the back. He must have had a great start of this race.
I think it was P18, if I'm not mistaken.
It is. Troye and Cameron up 6th and 7th, up 12 and 10 positions. That's amazing.
Absolutely. Well, you talked about both of them having magnificent racecraft.
Are you in now yet or not?
No, I sent you a request.
Have you? It hasn't come through, bro.
Let me check you. I tried to jump in your.
If you go onto your notifications, you would have. If you go on your notifications, you will see the invite that I sent you earlier. Click on that and join session.
I tried to click on that. 37 minutes. It says 37 minutes ago, and I click on it. It's grayed out. I tried that.
That's what I did, and it worked.
But what I'm going to do in the meantime, I'm going to jump around to the different people. It seems as if I can. Wait, I just got an invite from Drunken Pirate.
Perfect. Perfect.
Drunken Pirate. All right. That's not a good sign, though, sir. How are you sending invites? Are you racing?
Drunken Pirate is in 10th place at the minute in the Ferrari. So Artistic has just joined. Now we go. Right, now we're what a lad. Drunken Pirate, take a bow, son. Take a bow. He's going and invited Artistic whilst racing. Love that. Love that. Absolutely love it.
It didn't fall off the points.
He didn't either. No, brilliant stuff. Brilliant. So, okay. We missed the first 7 laps, but we're still here. QRT Robbie leading the way now. And Equazer battling it out with Bingram. Bingram getting the job done there on the Alpine car of Cameron. Now, Optic is in 3rd place and hunting down Hemi. Optic is having a great race out there.
He's really holding it on, yeah, I'm telling you.
Oh, Scotty's out. Oh, he's gone. No, Scotty's he's retired in the pits. So Scotty, he's had enough. Early retirement then. And it's all going on here at the back of the grid here, fighting for 13th. And what a move there from Spidey, from Foot, sorry. Late breaker in the Haas. Total Carney then in the DRS zone of King David, takes to the outside. The Mercedes goes ultra defensive as it comes right across the racing line now. Oh, and they're just touching here. The Alpine has the inside line. He's going to get the exit. And the Mercedes is just tucked back in. But look at the speed of that Mercedes. Around the outside he goes, in through Cops. Is he going to get ahead before the corner? Yes, he does. Can he get it stopped? Oh, this is brilliant stuff.
Yeah, we almost had a flashback of Lewis Hamilton, Max Verstappen for a minute there. I thought I was going to see somebody sliding away, but no walls were in their sight today. It is one of my all-time favorite races, though.
Braking boards are gone. Oh, Scotty. Oh, dear. Oh, wow. And the Mercedes takes a late lunge down the inside, but the Alpine comes back on the switchback. This is absolutely incredible from these two.
Absolutely. And the Alpines, no, it's the Austin Martins there really representing.
Total Carney then. I don't want to go off this battle. This battle's amazing.
Yeah, he's going. Lamb's got a nice little battle going here too.
So Bingram then on the back of his teammate Optic. He's got the other Alpine of a Quasar for company, although Quasar does have a penalty early on in this race. 10 laps in then.
Nah, he's really a really clean driver. You know, sometimes, typically, it surprises me when I see he has a penalty. Like, really? Okay.
Here we go, Ben. Bingram to the outside. Is his teammate going to fight that one? No, he's not. And that's probably a good idea there. Both of them use each other to drag each other along. It's the best way this team can get some good points out there today. And they've got to be careful because they've got that Alpine of a Quasar really on the heels of them right now.
Yeah, it looks like both Robbie, Hemi, and Bingham are all kind of running their own races there. We need something to stir it up a little bit. Stir it up. Pilots in the pit. Destroys in the pit as well.
I think we got Basil. Oh, so Liam's gone and bottled it. He got the power down too early. He had the McLaren of Basil really on his rear diffuser. And I feel he just got that power down a little bit too early, trying to get the exit. And it's cost him there because he's now spun round. And he's now down in 8th place. 8 seconds adrift now of the guy that was fighting for position.
Yeah, the field is starting to spread out a little bit.
It seems like the Aston Martins are doing a great job here at working together. Although the Alpine is in touching distance, it seems like they've got a little bit of a gap here.
Yeah, Optic might be trying to make a move. No, not close enough.
The Alpine then going in early, trying that undercut, followed by the Red Bull of Cameron. Cameron then in the pits as well, lap 12.
Quasar is going in. What's going to go meet him in the heart, huh?
Definitely looks that way.
What do you think of the new feature, the immersion of the pit stop? Do you ever find that you forget to hit the button? Do you ever lose time just forgetting you're supposed to be involved in that process?
To be fair, mate, I am very good at hitting the optimal every time. Weirdly. Oh, here we go then. Optic then takes the lead, takes the position back off Bingram up into 3rd place again. These two having a great battle out there. They don't want to do it too much though. They want to be clever and drag each other along because they've got the risk here of a Quasar doing the undercut. So then what have we got out there so far? Troye, just about to say there, Troye battling out with Basil and gets that move done. Up into 10th place. Lawson fighting it out with Cameron, the other Red Bull.
Great move. Way to fight him
OTP Christie, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome on in, my man. And look at this battle here. Lawson taking a little sniff through cops. Thinks better of it. He's going to set himself up here. He's just got to absolute nail Magus and Beckett's. And he's surely going to have him on the hanger straight. He's just got to get that exit right. And he does. Look at that. Very patient from Lawson there. And here he comes then. This is going to be a done and dusted move very early on. And there you go. Textbook move there from the McLaren driver.
Yeah, great driving by Cameron, too. There's nothing he can do about it, but he can try to come back. There's just not enough in the tank.
So then, QRT Robbie has a penalty. Hemi, 5 seconds adrift. Bingram now in the lead of this race, but Robbie has made his pit stop onto the hards. And you can see how hard it is to get those tyre temperatures up. He's coming out on his outlap and he's just forcing those tyres to warm up as quick as they can. It really, really is hard out there to get them.
Beautiful move by Cameron. Wow, great move. Sorry, great move. Lawson, I'm sorry.
So the battle
Lawson,
there
okay.
for Lawson and Cameron is still going there, and Cameron got himself back in front.
Yeah, the field is spread out, but it's a few battles in between. Oh, Tintoretto just spent out. He didn't hit anything. Looks like he recovered well. Back on the track.
So two retirements then. It's King David and Scotty in this race so far. Lap 13 of 26. And most of these boys then made their pit stop there, including Bingram, who's just come in now in the Aston. Where is he going to come out of? Optic has made his pit stop already. Is he going to come out ahead of his teammate or not? There is his teammate, and there it is. A good job done there from Bingram ahead of his teammate. And both McLarens now in 4th and 5th place. Oh, look at that. Cheeky. Oh, that was saucy. That was saucy from Optic. The nice warmer tyres, the better grip out there. And that is the difference when you really put on those hards. Optic, with an extra lap, had so much more grip in those tyres coming out of the pits.
Well, Bingham even now is digging back and forth trying to heat his tires up. You can tell he's like, all right, I know I still got 12 more laps. I see you again. I was doing the penalties. Pat, I put the commentator cursor on Equazar because he's got a few penalties there I'm working with.
We got the Quasar then battling it out with Bingram, who's just come out on the pitch trying to get the tyres up to optimal temperature. And I feel like Equazar's going to jump on this opportunity here. Down the hanger straight he goes. DRS wide open. The Aston Martin sticks to that inside, but has he got enough ERS? No, he doesn't. And he's just going to have to filter in through here. Bingram then using that ERS smartly there.
He's got about 20% left, as opposed to 11% for Equazar. But the penalties are starting to mount up. I think as this race gets closer to the edge, we're going to start seeing some of these penalties start to make a difference, especially if we have any kind of safety car. The field has to bunch up a bit.
Yeah, so far so good there for a clean. A little bit of a wobble on there from the Aston Martin of Bingram, but he gets it gathered up and stays in front for now, ahead of the Alpine.
Optic's making a move on Spider-Man. Great move, Optic. Way to take 3rd place. Got 5 seconds worth of penalties, buddy.
He's got to go for it as Optic. But what a move, like you said, up in the 3rd place on track. Look at that. Look at the... You can almost feel and look at the force, the load that goes through. Look at this view through the Magnus of Beckett. How fast it is from that rear view. Seeing him going through with that so much downforce is great. Absolute magnificent.
I think this version of the game compared to last year, they really nailed it. I mean, artistically, the cars are just, it's absolutely beautiful. And they really feel like, especially if you're in cockpit and you kind of, itemize it so that it's set up so it's specifically how you like it. It kind of, to me, feels like I'm in the car. I'm just,
Well, I've got to say that when I was at Silverstone this year, the cars looked like they were going slower through there. They were so planted, it looked like they were going slower, but they're actually going faster. It was really weird. Like the 2021 cars, really, like you knew they were going fast because there was like, it looked like they were always fighting the car through there. But they were like rapid and there was like bouncing around and all sorts was going on. The 22 cars at Silverstone, when I was sat at Magnus at Beckett's, I had a TikTok of it. It's just so smooth. It just felt like they weren't going fast at all, but they were just so smooth and so planted. It was amazing to see.
Yeah, I would definitely like to go there. I kind of wonder sometimes from certain vantage points, what can you see? Because it's so sectioned off. You can see like a strip.
Oh, what's happening here? Sorry to interrupt you, Artistic, but we do have a safety car. Lap 16 here at Silverstone. The safety car comes out.
All right, things are going to get interesting now. Who did we lose? Drunken Pirate?
What? Yeah, it looks like Drunken Pirate has binned it there. And yeah, it's brought out the safety car. So, what are we going to see here then, Artistic?
Well, you see Robbie going to the pit. We might have a few people coming out here switching out there now. What kind of tire situation are we working with? All right, so I wouldn't be surprised if Lawson and Mitt we pit. Go ahead and come off them hards. Yep, looks like they're all making a pit here. Looks like, huh? The whole, really, the whole top 10 from the looks of it.
Yeah, and I think with only 10 laps to go, you're going to see Optic, pitting again. Like, he's got rid of 5 seconds. He's going to have to pit again, get rid of the other 5, get the soft compound tyre on again and go again. I think everyone with 5 seconds may have to pit again here and take advantage of it.
Do you think it's better to have the 5 seconds taken off in the pit, or is it just let them take it at the end of the race?
For me, 5 seconds at the end of a race with 10 laps to go is too big. You're better off losing the track position, getting that 5 seconds again, having the fresher softs, losing a few more positions, and then just fully sending it.
At least you know what you're fighting as opposed to theoretically.
Let's see if Optic does that then. Tintoretto gets a drive-through. Very rare mistake from Tintoretto. A drive-through then, and it would have been speeding under safety car.
If I'm not mistaken, did Troy A start at 17th?
He did. Troy A started almost at the back of the grid, and look at him now.
Look at him now. Man, I tell you, this whole tier. I know a lot of people say in a lot of situations that if anybody can win it, any given Sunday type of setup. But really, up and down the grid, all these guys are winning. Each one of these people can come out here on a given day and win Grand Prix. Some are consistently faster, but on any given day. Yeah, I think so far, Troy is looking like he's making a pretty good case for driver of the day. Hemi said, hey, you can make driver or whatever, as long as they don't get that pole, huh? You look good up there, fella. If you're talking, buddy, I can't even hear you.
So
Optic, I don't talk over you.
Optic is not decided to go in then. He's going to go for track position, like you said, Artistic.
Trying to bunch up.
So, Hemi then has taken the lead of this race on the hard compound tyre because he's decided to stay out. Troy A on the hard. QRT Robbie's pitted again on the softs. He's going to be ultra fast. Watch him try and get this, get these moves done early on. Artistic, are you there?
Oh yeah, I was talking in person. I had to be quiet because I couldn't hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, bro.
Okay. I didn't want to overtalk to you at first. I was like, are you there? I had to be quiet so that I wouldn't do so. Yeah, this is going to be interesting because I'm really curious to see how this whole penalty situation kind of plays out. Hemi's sitting pretty, you know, so is Troy A and even Spider-Man. So I have a feeling, if anything, they want the race to stay pretty much copacetic and not be too eventful. whereas I see a lot of other people having to take some chances out there in order to get on that podium.
Well, you've got Spider-Man there.
Scary up top.
Yeah, you've got Spider-Man on the mediums. Optic has gone in on the softs. He's going to be very quick, but he does have a 5-second. And he's going round again. He's decided not to come in. If I was him, I would have gone in, took the 5 seconds, the second lap in, but there you go. Drunken Pirate puts in the chat, he's absolute gutted. Could not get control of the car, he says.
Do you feel like you drive differently? If you like think you have to make up X amount of time as opposed to you see the vehicles in front of you?
I don't know. It's a difficult one. You could almost over push, you know, in the fact that you've got to make up time. He is on the soft compound tyre. He feels he's made the right decision. He's gone with it. He's in a good position at the minute. And for Optic, you know, points are important for him. So, you know, he is on the softs. He will be able to pull away. You've got Liam behind him in the hards. Now, you've got to say the hard compound tyres take so long to get up to temperature. They really are a nightmare to get warmed up, especially under safety cars. We seen last week at Baku. Just guys just struggling at all, and the safety car was just bringing out safety car after safety car, you know.
And what are you getting, about 9 laps out of those softs here in Silverstone? So he's right on the edge before they start tapering off a bit.
Bauer Supreme, thank you very much for the follow today in this stream. We've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 followers here today at the eSports eRacing League. Prospects eRacing League, sorry. And this broadcast goes on ESTV, so thank you very much for them. I am your commentator, PaddyPat89. Go and hook me up on Twitter at PaddyPat89. And we're joined today as well by Artistic. Do you want to see our faces? Here you go. There you go. They are the arts at PaddyPat89. If you want to go and hook me up on Twitter and Artistic as well.
Oh, Lord, I'm not even looking. I can't even watch it.
In the comms box today. So, here we go then. Let's go on to Hemi. When is he going to launch? Here we go then. And look at that, Robbie already on the rear end of Troye. And look at him trying to get those hards up to temperature. And a great start from Hemi.
Tintoretto's going back to the pit.
Robbie then gets that move done then on Troye. And he's already right on the back. Those softs are proving to be just no match at all for those hards. I mean, the hards are no match for the softs. Get your words out, Paddy. And like you said, Robbie does have a 3-second. And that means that he has to get this move done and pull a gap here on Hemi. And here he goes. Oh, he goes defensive. It's a Hamilton. Oh, they go really defensive. Some really hard racing here from these two. They go side by side, and that is some tough defense and racing. Both of them come out pretty unscathed, but Robbie does take the race lead here. Crazy scenes.
Oh, he just went off a little bit, though. But he was able to recover.
Is Hemi going to come back at him here?
The hard tires normally take about 2 laps to heat up.
Yeah, Optic has lost out. He's down in 6th place at the minute.
Look at Spidey. Just nice and steady. Trying to keep on Cameron right now.
I tell you what, those softs are looking. He's going to make a move here. No, he's not. He's going to back out. And look at that. Goes for the dive then on Spider-Man. And they almost touch coming through this section. And they're side by side still. Oh, very tight racing from these two. Amazing scenes. And they're still side by side here as they come towards Lovefield. Who's going to get the top end of it here? He's going to have the more grip. Is that Optic? Can he keep that move stuck? And he does. He goes around the outside. But the Williams is not giving up here. Fighting all the way, and Optic gets that move done. But look at this. It's Spider-Man coming back at him here. And they almost touch there.
We got a penalty by Blam, but there's a little bit of contact between
Oh,
Spidey
Magnus
and
back in.
Optic.
Oh, you don't want to make a move there. I tell you what, this fight is absolutely magnificent. We got to love this. This is crazy stuff from these two.
Yeah, even as they're fighting, they're chasing down Crammon and Troy as well. So they're looking at each other, chasing down these other cats. Great race.
He goes for the double stage. Which way is that Williams going to go? He's really in the rear view mirror of Optic, trying to put him off the best he can.
I think looked a little squirrely there during the braking zone. He's kind of made a couple of extra double moves. So calm down out there.
Robbie then setting the fastest lap. Again and again, Robbie is on an absolute charge here. The gap is 2.110. Oh my God! Optic gets a bit of a squabble on there, goes through the barrier. The polystyrene barrier, absolute flying everywhere. And he just manages to gather the car and stay in front. But has he for much longer there? Another little slip there, struggling on those softs. And Spider-Man goes, thank you. I'll take that position back.
And he's got a 5-second lead essentially on Optic with the penalties. So I'm sure Optic's trying not to race him too hard, even as he's trying to get past him. Tricky situation.
It is indeed. It is indeed. But with that being said, it's brought Basil and Equazer back into play, and almost a bit of a train going on with these guys. So you have a gap now, about 3 seconds from Spider-Man to Cameron. So this is where it's at the minute. We've got to look at Cameron, though, because Cameron is right behind Troy.
Yeah, Robbie, well, I guess he's safe. He should be safe on the podium.
Optic gets back in front of Cameron then. Just before Stoke Corner, he's back in front of the Williams driver of Spider-Man.
There's been a lot of really good wheel-to-wheel races. Not a lot of contact considering how many passes he's had. Great racetrack.
Fudge is out! Fudge is out. He's DNF'd in the pits. He's had enough as Fudge. He's calling it a day. 3 laps left to go. He's out of this race.
It's like that, Fudge.
Now then, Optic has got a bit of breathing space at the minute between him and Cameron, so we'll go on board with this little battle out the top here for the podium positions here. Now then, Robbie is not getting that 3 second. Are those softs now starting to go off? And Hemi could get the win of this race here if he keeps the position and keeps the pressure on, but he's got to look out behind him because Troye is there to snatch that position as well. Any of these boys could win this race at this point.
Absolutely, and they're still fighting for points down here in the bottom tier as well. So you got Bingham chasing behind Total Carney. I mean, he's only 0.2 of a second behind him, but he's got 3 seconds worth of penalties. So
yeah, there's action all over the field here then. Equazer getting a move here on the Williams driver of Spider-Man. Equazer then through Stoke Corner. The Alpine is flying at the minute.
And Bingham makes the move as well on Total Carney. He moves up into the points position. Great move there, Bingham. And he's trying to chase down Nickley. How do you pronounce that person's name there? Is it Nickley?
Bingham going wide out of the last turn. Like I say, it makes that move on Total Carney, but it's so jam-packed here. Anyone can make good moves on anyone. It's hard to keep up. This is great. This is what we want to see. See Basil here taking a late move on Spider-Man. And they're going to go side by side through here. He just couldn't quite get the paddle down, but so did the Williams driver.
You know what? That was really good racetrack for Basil because he wasn't over-aggressive. Even though he didn't make the move, he chose not to destroy both vehicles. But sometimes you see people in that situation that get a little bit over-aggressive, really want that move, and both race in. So great racing, great driving by you, Ben.
Indeed. And UFC Oliver then coming in with the follow as well. A lot of following in today's stream. Thank you very much, guys.
Oh, Hemi's got a 3 second penalty. That changes things. That changes everything.
That does change everything. That means Troye has got a sniff for this race lead here. But he's got to get that move done here on Hemi and stick within 3 seconds of these two out in front.
We've got 33% of DRS left compared to 33% by Hemi, so it's going to be interesting.
Here comes Basil then on Spider-Man. He's going to make a move. Oh, they almost touched through Stowe. He's going to take to the inside, but he did actually tap him in. He gets it all wrong here. Oh, it's absolute carnage. He's lost out on a lot of positions there.
Oh, Henry, I mean, Basil, I feel so bad for you.
Oh, Spider-Man's gone. Oh, it's absolute carnage. Oh, it's unbelievable. Oh, would you believe it, on the penultimate lap? We had 3 or 4 drivers spinning out of this race.
Yeah, but was that Spider-Man, Total Carney? I couldn't catch who else. It might have been, I don't want to say a name it wasn't and get beat up later. But I tell you, it was goofy.
And we've got no time to breathe on that one as Troy then does get that move done on Hemi. And he's up to second, 2.7 seconds. It's the gap between him and QRT Robbie. Troye could get a second win in the row here at Silverstone. On the penultimate lap he goes. And my gosh, he is having a great time out there.
Oh yeah, this is what it's all about right now. 1.5 left with 0.5 seconds to separate the win. Beautiful.
And Troye is in the zone. Last week's winner and keeping it clean here. If he keeps within 3 seconds, he's going to get the win of this race. But look at this. It's not over yet. Troye is fighting out with Hemi, and Hemi gets back in front. This is absolute amazing stuff here.
Beautiful perspective there.
QRT Robbie then starts the last lap of this race. But this is where the action is right now, Artistic.
Oh, absolutely. But right now, it's Robbie's race to win. And one thing I've noticed about him, he doesn't seem to feel pressure. You know, you get him in these situations, this is when he drives at his best. When you think, okay, everybody's on him, can he get it done? And he seems to get it done. And man's got ice water in his race.
But crucially, the penalties are going to take a toll here today. If Troye can get in behind, not lose too much time. I mean, we're right on the cuff. This could be anyone's game. QRT Robbie could still win this. But at the same time, Troye, if he can get a good launch here, stick within that 3 seconds, the race lead is his. Cameron could get promoted as well if he just gets power down this last section. We don't know what's going to happen through here. We're going to ride on board through Cops, as this is the last race here. And NLR Liam sets the fastest lap of this race. I don't think it's going to be beaten. A 1:28.7 from Liam. And here we go then.
Lewis Hamilton has the real track record of the win. 27.
Who is it going to be then? Troye right on the back here now. He knows all he's got to do is stick behind him here. No accidents are needed right now. This is going to be an amazing drive from Troye as we see QRT Robbie then coming through the last bird turn. The last time here at Silverstone. Takes the checkered flag. Hemi takes second. And Troye gets a win here. The second win in a row. Troye, take a bow, son. You absolute legend. Well deserved. Troye keeping it clean throughout this race. Gets the race win after penalties. Wow!
I wonder if it was that last little wiggle coming down Hamilton straight as Troy was wrapping around turn 18 that caused him to give up just a little bit of the advantage he had. It's absolutely fabulous race for him. 17th to first, unequivocally driver of the day.
Absolutely no questions asked. Troye, take a bow, son, coming from the back of the grid. Keeping it clean, and he takes a win here at Silverstone. QRT Robbie has to settle for second, Hemi third, Cameron fourth, and Quasar fifth. Smitty in sixth. Lawson gets himself up to seventh. Uptick after penalties down to eighth. Basil in ninth. Total Carney is your last points position winner in 10th place. Spider-Man 11th. Bingram in 12th. Liam in 13th. Tintoretto in 14th. What a race there.
Absolutely. They really brought it. You know, they put so much time and effort into preparing for these races. A lot of these people put in 20, 25 hours a week just preparing for a single race. So it's nice to see when you don't see a lot of accidents and people are able to get out there and get their full race pace on. So they get fantastic.
Absolute incredible scenes here today. And I've got to say, the computer has got it right. Troye, driver of the day, and the commentators, driver of the day. What a race.
No doubt about it.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to head over to the podium interview, and we're going to be hopefully interviewing the podium sitters in this tray. That'll be Troye, QRT, Robbie, and Hemi. So we'll just quickly go through the race. So Troye then takes a win, QRT, Robbie, Hemi, Cameron, Equazer, Midway, Lawson, Optic, Basil, Total Carney, Spider-Man, Bingram, NFR Liam, Tintoretto, Fudge, Drunken Pirate, King David, and at the back there, the early DNF is LFR Scotty. What a race. I'll see you in the driver's interview room in the other server, yeah? You know where it is? Yeah?
Nope.
Go into the PRL server, and then just go all the way down to, you know where you go for driver's briefing? Well, underneath it is podium interview. Click on that one, you'll be meeting me there.
That'd be great.
Perfect. Wow, so as we wait for the drivers entering the podium interview, and we do have Troye straight in. Troye, our race winner, congratulations, the second win in a row, keeping it clean on track. How do you feel, bro?
Yeah, man, it's amazing. When I saw that Hemi pen as well, I just felt like I actually have a chance at this. And yeah, it just played out pretty well. I think both me and Hemi did the right call staying out on them hards because, as you could see probably on the Delta, the soft runners, their tires were starting to drop again towards the end, and we kept up with them. If anything, we actually gained on them. So I think it was a mix of like just staying out of trouble and making the right calls, I guess, which gave this win.
It was a race of absolute brilliance and very, very clever racing from yourselves. And like you said, you pitted at the Robbie did make that gamble and pitted on the softs. He did have the pace on you guys, and it was touch and go for a minute. That Hemi 3 second really did help you out there as well. But yeah, like you said, those last 3 laps, he just couldn't pull that 3 second, and they were just going off and off and off. So great engineering skills there from yourself, Troye. And that's what it takes to be a race winner, doesn't it, buddy?
Yeah, man, I guess it's like a mix of everything you have to do. Like, that's why starting from the back, I don't mind too much because it's always like, it's fun with like a challenge. My qualifying was absolutely dreadful, by the way. I don't know what I was onto. And yeah, I probably even wouldn't have made it into the top 3 in quali anyways if I set it up. And yeah, fair play to Robbie, his qualifying lap was absolutely like, I haven't seen anything like that on this track so far. So, yeah, I don't know. Starting from the back was still fun, and yeah, just trying to stay up, like avoid trouble and everything, and that's safety car towards the end, I guess, helped me as well. So
yeah, it was just unbelievable, buddy. It really was. Artistic, are you there, buddy? You are muted at the minute, Artistic. Nope. So Troye, then. Congratulations, you're not only the race winner here and the computer's driver of the day, you are the commentator's driver of the day, once again coming from the back, like you said, to get the points. It doesn't look like we've got Robbie coming in on the chat or the other podium sitter. So it's just Troye today. Congratulations, mate. Well deserved. And you are looking handy for the championship at the minute. Really putting the pressure on last year's champion, Robbie. Like you say, he's got that pace in one lap, but those penalties seems to be costing him this year so far, don't they?
Yeah, I know. But at the same time, this is a track where you get quite a lot of pens. I wasn't actually expecting Robbie to have a 3 second, to be fair, because I've seen him, like I saw him on the map that for like so far ahead, and usually when I'm that far ahead in other leagues or in other races, then I literally like go maybe at 90% pace instead, just to like keep clear of the warnings and stuff in case a safety car like this happens. So you haven't like pulled that gap for nothing. So I was a bit surprised when I saw him there at 3 second. But yeah, that's what I got to do, like be up there and try to take advantage when the opportunity comes.
Exactly that. You drove an absolute fantastic race, and once again a race winner here. Last week's race winner, it's this week's race winner. It's Troye. Takes that top spot on the podium, and what a fantastic race you had. Well done. Congratulations, buddy. That is it from me and Artistic today for the Prospects eRacing League Tier 1. Also gets broadcasted on ESTV, so thank you very much for that opportunity, guys. Welcome everyone that has been with us all the way through here. A lot of following. Just want to take this opportunity to thank every single one of you. What a race. Join us here again tomorrow, same time, where it'll be the PlayStation drivers, PlayStation Tier 2 drivers, including myself, hitting it around the track of the old iconic, where it all began. It was Silverstone. Thank you very much for watching. I have been your commentator, PaddyPat89. Go and hook me up on Twitter if you want. Here are the ats. I'm joined here today as well by Artistic. Great comms. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye. God bless. That is another round complete.